So you beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. Today we have to talk about that one particular thing in Call of Duty that does one divide opinion but really gets people's feathers ruffled, and that is skill-based matchmaking. Now, Black Ops Cold War in a nutshell for me has so much potential to be a Call of Duty reminiscent of the OG Call of Duties. It's got all the ingredients. Yes, I know the looks are subjective, but in reality Treyarch have always made the more arcade looking games. So when you compare apples to apples, the game looks how it should do, but I get why people feel like it's a downgrade from Modern Warfare. Now, one thing I'm really happy about in this game is the fact that I can run around. I really can run around, and I've just reached level 38, I believe it is, so I finally unlocked Ninja, a perk that I've yearned for the last 12 months because Modern Warfare, it was a field upgrade and you was heavily penalized for running around in that game, and it just felt really anti-Call of Duty. But right now there is a bit of a problem, and it's the biggest problem that Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War faces this year, and it is skill-based matchmaking. Every single game I have played, I can say 90% of my kill cams are the MP5. Yes, it's clearly overpowered. I mean, Armada already, I'm getting spawn trapped from the windows as soon as I come out my spawn, and these are things that you only experience in games with severe skill-based matchmaking. Now, before I get shut down by those skill-based matchmaking, you just want easy lobby people, I actually believe in skill-based matchmaking. I think it does need to be there to a certain extent, but just not in the manner that it's implemented in the last few Call of Duties. The excuse that we've heard when we've been referred to as the silent minority is that it keeps newer players engaged in the game for a longer period of time. Now, if this is true, then why hasn't Call of Duty sold as much as its best games ever since? Yes, Modern Warfare has sold a lot, but I can guarantee you, because it was said in a statement already, that people played Warzone, a free-to-play game, enjoyed what they played, and then thought, oh, let me try out Modern Warfare. And I guarantee you, most people that made that purchase for that game did not enjoy it. I'm not saying nobody enjoyed Modern Warfare. I enjoyed it in bits and bobs, but for the most part, it just felt like an anti-Call of Duty game to me. Warzone, absolutely loved it. In terms of animations and look of the game, yes, really good looking game. But Modern Warfare 3, one of the most sold Call of Duties in Call of Duty history, skill-based matchmaking may have been in that game, but it was nowhere near as strong as Call of Duties that followed that game. I'll give you an example. I played Call of Duty in a clan. We would play pretty much every day after work, come in, play the game, all jump on together and dominate. Modern Warfare 3, 55 plus days played. Why, you may ask? Was the game really that good? As I know a lot of you didn't agree that it was one of the better Call of Duties. Well, I'll tell you what happened. I went on to Black Ops 2, which most of you would hold as the holy grail, the greatest Call of Duty of all time. And what happened with this particular game? Well, the first week was all good, but somebody flipped a switch after 7 days and SBMM was rife in that particular game. It was so bad that my clan actually ended up splitting up, because the experience was just not enjoyable for us, and thus I ended up going back to the likes of Modern Warfare 3. Now, after about 6 weeks or so, it was clear that they got the message in Black Ops 2 and the skill-based matchmaking was reduced, and I made a return to the game. And a lot of people know this happened, and I don't know if it's a coincidence, but it seems like it's a coincidence, because ranked play really started to take off, and the casual side of Call of Duty Black Ops 2 seemed more reminiscent of the original Call of Duty games that we played back in the day. When I talk about skill-based matchmaking, it was Russian roulette in terms of what lobby you would get. If you was a good player or above average player, you would do well 8 out of 10 games, and that's what's not happening anymore in Call of Duty, and it's taking people's enjoyment away. I mean, after all, most of us believe that connection should be king over everything. So today Basically, Scumpy tweeted this: how does Call of Duty not get released with a ranked playlist every year? I am genuinely confused. It should be a staple, but it gets ignored. Interesting to think about. And Dave Vonderhaar has replied, let me rewrite that for you. You can thank me later. I'm really looking thankful for all the hard working men and women trying to give us a ranked playlist. This would insinuate to me that I would say season 1, which is around the corner, we will see a ranked playlist start returning in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. And for me, this can only mean one thing. Hopefully, fingers crossed, these skill-based matchmaking lords out there will start toning things down. Now, we cannot go for the developers because we know Michael Condrey was one of them who, once he was released from Activision, he kind of came out and said it's Activision that are the people that are making the rules in terms of skill-based matchmaking. They believe that it has overall better engagement with newer players. But as I've just said earlier, Modern Warfare 3, it was one of the most selling Call of Duties of all time, if not the most selling Call of Duty of all time. Scratch Modern Warfare 2019. That is not a comparison that people can make with the likes of Warzone getting people to play that game. So that doesn't count for me. But that game didn't have this hardcore skill-based matchmaking that we currently have, where all you can see is MP5s everywhere with the same pro setups that you were seeing everywhere. I mean, me personally, as you can see in the gameplay, I really like this AK-74U because I don't want to be meta. But when you're forced to play in certain lobbies because of skill-based matchmaking, you will always come up against people who use the meta. So you don't have no diversity in the actual weapons pool. You just come up against the same thing all the time, and it gets boring, it gets repetitive, and then you turn away from the game. So as I've said, it's kind of counterintuitive what Activision are trying to employ here, and I think their view is outdated and out of touch with their community. So let me know down in the comment section, do you feel like there's a real heavy, thick, skill-based matchmaking in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War? Apart from that, I haven't got too many complaints about the game. Visuals, I know, are subjective. Yes, the MP5 is definitely going to need some nerfing, but we've already heard from the developers, Tony Flame in particular, who have stipulated that there is going to be weapon balancing in the game and just some fine tuning in stuff like spawns and stuff like that. But given the fact that Treyarch have had 2 years to develop this game and take over from another developer, and the fact that we've had a worldwide pandemic as well, the game isn't in as bad a shape as I would think it would be. Yes, people can come at me and say, oh, it's a multi-billion-pound game, but at the end of the day, I have relatives who have degrees in game coding, and they've explained the feat that Treyarch may have when making this game, especially due to the cross-generational issues that we're going to have. But overall, it's a Call of Duty I can run around in again, and I really like that thought. And it does, take this with a grain of salt, it does slightly remind me of Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 1. It's almost like a combination of those two games. And if skill-based matchmaking was slightly detuned, I genuinely believe I could last all year on this game because I already enjoy it more than Modern Warfare multiplayer. Guys, there are many buttons you could hit, but I like the subscribe button. I hope they took your fancy. And as always, guys, don't forget to stay on the right track. Peace.